Mr. Cannon, you're here?
Yes.
I have actually spoken to your lovely date, Maggie, already.
Oh, so you have an advantage because I have yet to. Well, I've spoken to her on the phone, on the radio,
Okay.
but I have yet to meet her.
Now, did you Instagram stalk her beforehand?
I wasn't allowed to.
What?
Yeah, because we're trying to make this as like a true blind date. Like it's like a real romantic comedy.
Okay.
Like this is how it really happened. So I didn't look at any profiles. One suggestion I made, I said hopefully I don't want her to be like one of those people that have like a huge social media following and is an influencer. I just wanted, a regular everyday individual. Yeah, I'm looking for someone. Well, actually, the funny thing, I'm not looking for anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
But
you're on a date right now.
yeah, but the idea of Valentine's Day, I am a hopeless romantic, so I was like, to be able to engage with someone and kind of, just have a real moment opposed to it always being about, oh, I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm single. I'm trying to fall back on that.
You know what? That's interesting, though. Why do you say you're not looking? Are you in that place where you just feel, because sometimes that's when you find the person when you're not looking.
I gotta say, I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to be the best me I could be, the best dad I could be, the best, entrepreneur and young media mogul that I could be. So I'm really just focused on me and being the best me because for some reason I haven't gotten this relationship thing right. I'm not good at it. I don't like doing stuff that I'm not good at.
Well, you know what? But that is when you become your best self. That's when you're in the best place to find somebody.
Yeah, I'm looking within.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. You're trying to be the best dad you can be. Do the kids tell you, like, Dad, we want you to find somebody?
My kids, it's the funniest thing. My kids call me a player. I was like, who taught you that word? This is not, like, who's been talking to you? And he's like, Dad, you can't be a player forever. I'm like, this is the worst.
So the kids are calling
Even
you
my
out.
8-year-olds are calling me out.
Well, we did ask Maggie, and she has seen. I know you're saying you're not a player, but you do post those Thirst Trap Thursday pictures.
Yeah.
And Maggie's seen them, Nick.
She
so
saw 'em?
She says she likes them. She gives you a like on the ground.
All right, okay. That's just inspiration. That's just letting everybody know you could, be tiptoeing on 40 and still look good.
Well, you've covered up here today. You look very dapper. How did you pick your outfit for the date?
You know what? I was kind of business meeting vibes in it, like, cause I was just coming from a business meeting, so I just cleaned up a little bit, but I kind of had this on most of the day. From the gym, I put part of this is a 3-piece, so I was in the other, so I just threw the overcoat on, smoothed the hair and got
Took the
to
look
it.
from day to night, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So who do you get advice on your love life from? Like, the kids are calling you out. I don't know. Do you talk to, you said you made some mistakes before. Do any of the old girlfriends or anybody give you tips on what you should be doing better?
I don't know. I don't like, probably all the listeners on my show is probably the only time I really even talk about this stuff. Right? Therapy. That's where you get the best advice. My therapist gives great advice.
She says, what about the Thirst Trap Thursday?
Well, because even though that's my, I can't answer that. Okay. She doesn't like them. But that's more to show off of how healthy I am,
That's
bad.
what it's about.
It is, I've had some health conditions, so I'm saying like, look, I'm in shape.
Okay.
But it just so happens if I get a few likes from some thirsty people, I'll take it.
So I know you're not looking, but what kind of woman would you hope Maggie would be? What are you into, attracted to? Tell me.
Just being her authentic self. That's what and that's rare these days of finding someone who's comfortable with being themselves and is not, bombarded with, the society's perception of what a woman should be.
Do you get nervous at all before a first date? How do you approach it?
I don't get nervous. Last time I got nervous was like 4th grade recital. Like I haven't been nervous since.
So what's your move? What's Nick Cannon's first date? Like first question? Oh, you have a move, Nick.
I have no
Nick,
move.
your child called you a player. That means you have a move.
I guess it's innately within me. I don't know. I'm silly. So I'm awkward. Like I'm comfortable being myself. So just laughter, humor, really just engaging and having a real moment.
Okay, well, we're very excited to see what happens. Of course, this all
Are you guys
came...
gonna be here the whole time?
We're going to wait till the end.
Oh, great.
We're going to get your thoughts, Nick, so...
How did I get this? Where did this become like? Now I'm on like The Bachelor or something like that.
You have some, we got some shots of all the red roses in here. It's right in time for Valentine's
How did I
Day.
get signed up for this?
I was actually going to ask you. I mean, it was through your morning show, Nick. So you get put on this date. What was your reaction when you found out I'm getting set up on a date by my coworkers, basically?
The things I do for content. This is my whole team just gonna whore me out.
So the morning show's going so well. Tell me what you're liking about doing that.
I'm loving it. I mean, we had the #1 morning show here in Los Angeles. I'm at Power 106. the most iconic hip hop station of all time. So to get up each and every morning, I'm always up at 5 a.m. anyway to entertain people and people to really come into my life like this. It's the most intimate form of entertainment, so I love it.
I mean, you've done so much. We've loved you across so many shows. I got to ask you about America's Got Talent. Could we ever see you returning to that franchise?
I love that show so much, and I wish everybody over there the best. It seems like, they're probably going through some things, but I think at the core of it, it's America's show, and it's really about the people that wish fulfillment of utilizing your gift to get to another stage in your life, and I think people should just focus on that. So you never know, man. I loved it so much. I never wanted to leave. It had nothing to do with the creative. It was just more of a, some business things and some inner workings. So I wish that show the best, and I wish that franchise the best.
Like you said, I mean, Gabrielle's spoken out about it. Did you have a reaction when you heard her story about
Absolutely. Me and Gabby talk all the time, and it's just, I was just there to be her support system, and whatever she says, I stand firmly with her. Yeah, absolutely. And just that we have to do that. There's no other choice. I mean, that's the point. When someone speaks up, they're speaking up for a reason.
Well, did you have experiences like that?
I mean, I spoke. You don't remember? I spoke up quite loudly about. But it was, I did it in jest. But there's the realities in our business that are quite harsh that we all deal with, and people deal with them differently. I mean, obviously, I have many platforms and many ways to get out there and tell the truth without going the way where it has malice. But I gotta live my truth, and I gotta speak my truth, and that's why I'm no longer there. And I salute and applaud Gabby for making the decisions that she's made as well. Yeah.
I do want to ask you about something that is just kind of top of mind for all of us as we head into what's going to be a really emotional day, which is Kobe and his memorial coming up, the public memorial that we're going to have. Will you be a part of that in any way, and how have you been handling the past couple of weeks?
It's been tough for everyone. I mean, all I can be is a support system for his family and all the families that lost someone in that horrific tragedy. I feel a certain way. I'm probably one of the people that, after you pay your own personal respects, when the media gets involved, it gets a little weird for me, and I've been invited, and I may even, visit, but I don't want to host anything, or I don't want to be on television talking about it, because I feel like at a certain point it gets to be a little bit too much, where it's like, all right, how much are you paying respects and how much are you taking advantage or clout chasing, in a sense of where it's like for the likes or for the media, and I've always had an issue with that when personal things occur, even with the Instagram post, like, is that really what we're supposed to do? Is that the way this generation mourns? Or do we mourn internally? Or do we, for all of the fans, I think it's an amazing thing. But for, other people in the media, as just someone who, we did it on the morning. On my show, I didn't want to make it about like, oh, call in, and all. It was more about like, let's have a moment of silence, or share your favorite Kobe moment, or something that we can internally do. Because someone who actually, had the opportunity to meet him on many occasions, he was private. He was a loving soul, but he was also like, we got to keep it moving, and that is that Mamba mentality. So I've paid my respects, but I just don't want to make it a media spectacle.
Like you said, asking people their favorite moment. Can I just ask you then any piece of advice he gave you, or a moment you'll always remember?
I will always remember just how I was surprised of how in tune, to even like whether it was wilding out or just even. He was a regular guy, because we viewed him, even me, I've known him for a while, I viewed him as like a superhero who's like just lives in the gym. So when he was aware of, everything that I was doing, I was honored. I was like, yo, and it's just like, if he loved you, he loved you, you know what I mean? And he would always talk about perseverance and sticking to it and the drive, and clearly, his entire career and his entire life was a testament to that, and that's what he always spoke every time I encountered him.
That's beautifully said. Thank you. Masked Singer, are you going to go on the tour?
I'm not. I got my own tour. I love Masked Singer, but I think I kind of have. I have Masked Singer. We got the masked dancers happening. We got like, there's so many other things that I'm doing. I got the Wildin' Out tour, the next season of Wildin' Out. So that's the one thing I probably don't have time to do.
You picked one.
Yeah, and I think because I think the tour is more about the actual characters and the singers. Like, and I'm gonna go out there show my shiny shoes. Like, so I feel like that tour is gonna be great. But obviously, you know, we just launched the Wildin' Out live tour, and we're doing arenas all over the world. So that's gonna take up a little bit of time.
A little bit of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now it's time to get to your date, Nick Cannon.
That was good, like, cause that was like an icebreaker. Now I feel like I'm relaxed.
Oh, you just had this was your intro date.
Yeah.
Now you gotta go
Now
chapter 1.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
go.
Thank you. You were like the forward to the date.
What a compliment. Thank you. That's the nicest thing a man's ever said to me. You were the forward to the date.
Yeah, you like laid it all out. Like, even if you don't want to read the entire book, it was the forward.
Now, let me ask you, if things go well, we're going to check in with you after, but could there be a chapter 2? Would you ask this lady on a second date?
Maybe. I mean, that's how it works, right? That's just like, as you're building a love story, you know, chapter 1, chapter 2, we'll see.
Okay, we're brushing off the food. You just finished the date with Maggie. How did it go?
It was pleasantly pleasing. Does that make sense?
Well, that means you just said pleasant and pleasing. That's a double dose of good.
Yeah, because I talked about she was very authentic. It wasn't about like we weren't interviewing each other. You know what I mean? It was like real.
Like you and I are doing now.
Yeah. It was like real conversation. So, and you know, that's kind of unexpected. And then when you can like obviously have a great meal, but then at the same time enjoy somebody's company, it was cool. And I'm an awkward dater because I don't date.
What do you mean you're awkward? You're a charismatic guy. You're a host on TV.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm probably not as like outgoing as people think because like when I'm shy.
But Nick, you get in like public beefs with people. So how are you?
But I'm a shy person naturally. Like that's the entertainment stuff. I could do that all day. But like an individual, like you're being vulnerable and talking about your life. I'm like a shy guy.
Okay.
Naturally.
Naturally. Okay. There aren't many different sides of Nick. I was actually thinking that. I'm like, we get like performer Nick, we get host Nick, today we have corporate Nick.
Yeah, you get rapper Nick, who's getting in beefs, you get comedian Nick, you get all of that stuff. But then, like, strip all of that down, I'm just a calm, fragile soul.
Okay, I gotta ask you a weird question.
Yeah.
Maggie did tell me that she listens to your show. She also said she's a Mariah fan. Did your ex come up on your date?
Absolutely not. Okay. Wait, I mean, I might have talked about, of course I always talk about my kids, but yeah, I mean, but who isn't a Mariah fan? Like, everybody's a Mariah fan. That happens all the time.
Has that happened on dates before?
Yes, of course.
Has Mariah given you any tips on dating?
Yeah, don't do it.
Why?
Nah, I mean, like, that's still family for life.
Yeah,
so, like,
for life.
you know, when we talk, those subject matters come up, we just kind of avoid them.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you had the date with Maggie here at your amazing restaurant, Yamashiro, all good. And what will happen from here?
From here, that's a second date.
What?
We discussed it without cameras.
Okay, that means it's real. Okay. For real?
Yeah, that's what we definitely, it's a real thing. We got a lot in common.
She told she's a mom, she's kids.
I'm a dad. She has a 14-year-old.
You were listening.
I was in tune. It was real.
Okay, be honest right now. What were your real feelings? You attracted to her?
I mean, see, when you say attracted, of course, but that's physical. I'm looking to be in tune with somebody, aligned with somebody. I felt like we were aligned. Aligned is more important than attraction.
Did you get her number?
Do people still do that? Like,
what are you gonna do?
I don't like.
You're gonna DM her.
See, I'm gonna slide in the DMs. We know how to get in contact with each other.
Okay. All right. Well, second date could happen. By the way, I Googled this because we were thinking about this after I talked to you. Did you wear the $2 million shoes for this date?
Not this one. No, these are like the substitute ones. Okay. I saved those for the Masked Singer.
Oh. Or for the second date.
That's kind of like, I was trying not to be too flashy. If I would have came in with $2 million shoes on, I already drove up in a Rolls Royce. I mean, trying to be normal.
All right, Nick. Well, you were normal. She was authentic, and
Yeah.
date number 2 could happen.
Yes.
You
Like
heard
a
it here.
romantic movie.
Now the thing is, now you got
You're
this
the
on.
narrator.
Wow, we're really writing a book here today. And Nick, if you guys get married, all this is on camera.
Don't believe in marriage anymore.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. She's gonna break me all the way down.
What? What do you mean you don't believe in it anymore?
I mean, my mindset has changed. I've done that. I told you I don't like doing things that I'm not good at.
You weren't bad at it. You got 2 beautiful kids. You and
If
Mariah
you
are
jumped
cool.
out of a plane one time and it didn't work out,
That's what you're saying marriage is?
you wouldn't do it again, would you?
You just compared marriage to like something you can die
I
doing.
barely survived. Why would I jump out of a plane again?
You thrived. Here you are. What?
That is true. I'm still working though. I'm growing. I was a
Okay.
broken soul, and I'm growing. Now I'm back out on the scene.
Can I tell you something really real right now?
Yes.
I don't think you don't believe. I get what you're saying. I'm
believe in
divorced.
love.
I'm divorced. But I think
So
that
you know where I'm coming
I know where
from.
you're coming from, but I
Yeah.
think you got to meet the right person, and then maybe everything would
Well,
change.
man, you never know. Could be Maggie.